What is going on, Warriors? It is your boy Shin Ryu, and it is time for another Street Fighter Duel video. We're here, guys. Trendy Akuma is finally here within our grasp. Some of you guys already decided to take him out for a spin, probably making a decision as to whether you want to get him as your next top priority, or if you actually want to even replace your current priority in the special summon list here. And obviously, as you can see here in all his glory, he pretty much looks dapper, looks dope. One of the better designed characters in the game, if not the best designed character in the game so far. I do like the Trendy Bison version as well. I like Trendy Ryu, of course, but then, pretty much a different story right here. I've already tried to pull a couple of special summon tickets. That's why you can see I'm down to 12. I pulled, I believe, up to 60 of them. No Goken, okay? Priority is to get that final copy of Goken. As right now, I do have a couple of Chaotic Starlight. I already used one of them with one of the copies of Goken I had initially. Just need one more. If I get a dupe, right, if I get two, then that actually is amazing, because that means we can focus a lot less so on Oni and try and get him to triple S as quickly as possible, okay? Obviously, we're going to get him double S first for triple S, but as you can see right here, I'm looking for the Chaotic Starlight. I think I went past it a long time ago. For some reason, I can't find my Chaotic Starlight. It's kind of odd. Where are you? Okay. Should be, I think you should be able to see Chaotic Starlight in this view as well. Might be going past it and not even noticing. Let's just go to items. Let's go to equipment to see Fighting Spirit. Or don't they put Chaotic Starlight here anymore? That actually is kind of odd. I think I'm just kind of like not really taking much. No, there it is. I wasn't taking much notice of it. As you can see here, got 3 Chaotic Starlight. Already used one of them, and I replaced it with the, final copy from the Trendy Akuma event. You guys probably have yours already, probably used it already, or maybe trying to make a decision as to who should actually get that for sure with regards to, a new character in game. And of course, you want to know if you want to go straight to him right away. But we're about to answer this question real quick here by going through the kit of Akuma. We're going to be analyzing the character's kit. One thing to actually explain before I actually proceed further, remember what I said before, at least in the comments, I did mention that I was very much curious about how EX move would work if you have 2 separate EX that can work for one particular character. Apparently, it's not about the EX itself. It's more or less about the resonance. Okay, so as you can see here, it says Obsession, Total Annihilation. No, this is for Trendy Akuma, right? Obsession, Total Annihilation ignores 8% of target's defense, which you see on this list here. For regular Akuma, this Master of the Fist increases damage dealt by 0.6% and reduces damage received by 0.6% for every 1% of HP loss. Sound familiar? That's because it is. If you go over here, all that matters is the fact that you achieve 3 stars, okay? 3 stars of an EX move, regardless of what the EX move is what's going to pretty much grant you this particular move set here. As you can see, once again, Total Annihilation ignores 80% of target's defense, as you saw before. And of course, for regular Akuma, Master of the Fist increases damage dealt by 0.6% and reduces damage received by 0.6% for every 1 HP loss. So same thing, it's just about the 3 stars, not about the EX card, okay? Speaking of EX card, pretty decent stuff. We'll go into that in another video. For now, we're going to go right ahead and just try and go to the character himself, as I'm pretty much excited. Of course, I've already had it time to look at him in between work, because obviously I was super curious about it. So we're going to go straight into it, dive into how the character pretty much works. You know how we do. We start with the passive so we can try to understand his mechanic and how the character actually works. Then we go down through the regular move sets, go to the Fighting Spirit, and of course see what the soul power is. No real deal to go into soul power, because typically soul power is just going to be whatever the final line is. You see on most of the moves here. So of course we'll go to it to definitely distinguish it for sure. But let's go right ahead and try and have a look at him real quick at a glance. He is Wind, as you can see right now, not a master character of any sort. He's a wind character. That kind of even makes wind faction a whole lot more powerful. Of course, it's a power type of attack, so that means when it comes, you're going to be vying for the likes of Gal and Zangief's kit. If you don't have an independent one ready, I do have some of this factional changes for the kit. I can't remember what the name is, but it's what I'm talking about here, so that way you guys don't get confused. Let's just get that cleared out. The transformation scroll, I do have a couple of those, so I'll probably just try and waste a few, eventually try and make a full set for him, or at least somebody else. I'm just trying to prioritize as for random as efficiently as I can. But going back to the character, like I mentioned before, he's a wind character, he's a power character. More importantly, he's an attacker as well. So the last Akuma, as you know, is an assassin. This one is a power, an attacker. So you know, of course, both of them kind of almost play similar roles. Assassin is more down to just trying to like silently just break down the characters one by one. You know, with a power guy, you know, like a full attacker, you might be trying to destroy an entire team as well. You probably sit on the move set soon enough. So let's get into the passives. Before getting to the passives, you can see obviously the number here, 683. That is a big deal in a way. But this is more important right now. Of course, if we want to try and do the trial, we can see over that his speed right now, because I actually haven't looked at it yet, is 136. So it's very fast, 136. Bear that in mind. If you compare him, I went all the way back. If you compare him to OG Akuma, for example, so 136, put that in your mind there and see what his own speed amounts to once it's fully kit up. We are looking at 137. So it's actually one less faster, but he's faster than Ivry and most of the other Assassin and all the other Assassin team, I believe. I don't think Oni is as fast as regular Akuma is, but let's once again confirm, you know, if it's faster, great, because I do put my Akuma on the tag position there. I believe Oni is very, very important as well as Ivry to the starting lineup because of their what is that? Because of let's see what we're looking for. The Sasunoiki, whichever the version is, Ivry's version and Oni's version. But looking at the speed for Oni as well, let's go right ahead on a fully fledged Oni and see what his speed looks like. He is 128, so not as fast. So yeah, so it looks he is definitely fast for sure. So let's hopefully go back and not go all the way back. All right, and let's go back to Trendy Akuma. All right, so we've cleared all the basic at a glance sort of like information with regards to the character. If you want to look at other stuff in there, for example, want to see what his crits kind of stuff are like, you can always click on the information. Once you go to the soul power, go to the start overview, you should see everything right there. As you can see, right now I think this is just for the additional bonus, right? So but where is his actual regular, where do I see the regular? Okay, I think it might be over here too. Apologies, guys. This is just this is a particular stat that I haven't really paid attention, but there is a reason why I have paid attention because like I've had a glance at the way his kit is. So there is a particular important stats for you. Yeah, this is where you're going to see it. So his total crit rate is 30.5. Okay. So you have to bear that in mind as well. Because obviously the character with the highest crit is who's going to benefit from his EX move. So that's what that is all about. But now let's get back to the character himself and let's look at the kit and let's go right into it. Okay, so first of all, the passive says upon entering battle, unleash 14 black beads. So when all beads have been converted to white beads, unleash trigger skill total annihilation to deal damage equal to 960% of attack to all enemies. Okay, we're going to go deeper. Upon converting a bead, increase crit rate by 2% until the battle ends. Upon converting the bead, crit rate by 3% on the battle ends. And of course, when you're in level 4, which you typically would be, total annihilation, ignore 60% of the target's defense. And if you manage to get an EX move to 3 stars, preferably you want to be focusing on the other EX move, the previous Akuma EX move. I can't remember what it is off my head right now. You should be closer to 3 stars with that. Some people are already on 3 stars, honestly, they're going to be unleashing level 5 of Akuma's kit. That's part of the advantage of having a character's EX move that already exists, because what that means is that you are going to be getting the level 5. And just to clarify something as well, this just kind of came out of nowhere, not something I was planning to talk about before. I've seen in the comments all over the place that the developers are not treating either you and Ryu as the same person. I think this is where you have to beg to differ, because this is what you sort of like know is the EX move. Okay, so for example, if we look at what's the perfect example of a character that's not one and the same? Let's see here. So let's go to the EX moves. That's what's going to help us explain better what I'm trying to talk about. Let's see. Do we have anyone that is supposed to be different? All right. So now, see, Mad Ryu, for example, pretty much like Ryu, that's kind of close to being tempted or whatever. And you can see that Ryu's resonance is right here, right? But if you go to Evil Ryu, there's no Ryu's resonance here. So as you've heard over there, where we'll be talking about Ryu not having an alternate character, yet that is actually worthy, it's because he hasn't. Evil Ryu is kind of like an assumption of he actually going to the dark side. If he does go to the dark side, because this is potential going to the dark side, but it doesn't happen. So he pretty much stays the light side, as we all know, in Street Fighter 6. And what that means is that, this one here is pretty much Ryu being tempted, to go to the dark side, but then coming back before anything happens. That's what this is supposed to insinuate. So that's why they say mad, he's just upset whenever he gets upset when his friends are being hurt, and then he snaps into the Satsui mode. Before he actually gets too deep, he snaps back, maybe through the help of Ken, Chun-Li, Sakurai, a lot of people have tried to bring it back, and maybe himself too sometimes when he just snaps out of it. This is just regular Ryudosin. So enough of the diversion that we'll sort of be going through. It's just that this character is amazing, and of course it does have a lot of links to him. So apologies for that extra distraction there. We're going to focus on what we're talking about here, and we've cleared out the EX whatever, and of course strategies to get you to level 5 as quickly as possible. It's focus on your existing Akuma EX move and get it to level 5, right? And the new one, because the one is decent, but like I said, it's not a deal breaker, groundbreaker that would make you want to forcefully try and get it right away. That's what I'm just going to say. And the Akuma one is actually amazing. So that's also another thing for you to think about. Now let's get to the super combo here, okay? This is going to determine how the starting battle begins, at least for me, and how you guys probably want to take into account how you start your turns, okay? So if this fighter does not have Oni mark or Shin mark, unleash Oni Sengeki to deal damage equal to 612% of attack to the enemy with the highest attack, okay? And gain an Oni mark. After unleashing this skill, convert one black bead into white bead. If the fighter has Oni mark but not Shin mark, unleash Shin Sengeki to deal damage equal to 807% of attack to the enemy with the lowest defense. And gain Shin mark. After unleashing this skill, convert one white bead into a black bead. If this skill has both Oni mark and Shin mark, unleash Kishin Sengeki to deal damage equal to 520% of attack to all enemies. Okay, so this is a single attack that becomes an AoE after the third attempt of its use. After unleashing the skill, lose Oni mark and Shin mark and convert two beads, black beads, into white beads. Increase the damage of Oni, Shingeki, and Kishin to 704, 928, and 600 respectively. And of course, in level 3, you gain control immunity when unleashing Oni Sengeki, Shin Sengeki, and Kishin Sengeki. Nice stuff. So this is pretty much very, very nice right now, because as you can see here, when we looked at the passive, there was no real specific mechanic that we're trying to study over here, which you're typically trying to get sometimes. But over here, you can tell that there is three key things that surrounding him right now. That is the Oni mark, Shin mark, and of course when you have a combination of both, okay? And if you remember here, once you have all white beads, all black beads converted to white beads, you are going to get this annihilation to deal damage of 96%. This kind of gives this sort of like, Return of the Inferno sort of like, vibe when Bison takes fatal damage, and instead of him sort of like dying, as long as they have somebody else available, he's just going to blast y'all. So if you look at it over here right now, this is Return of the Inferno, and this actually does equal damage 267% to all enemy, but this is soul damage, so it's actually really even more insane. For Trendy Akuma, it is, I believe, just regular damage. I don't think it's soul damage, okay? So it just says just regular damage. Yeah, just did damage to everyone. So obviously, that's why it is important for you to get this, level of 80% where you're actually almost approaching soul damage when you're performing this annihilation move there. So that's the concept here. So he has his own passive. Well, Ivory has passive of the Raging Demon and takes somebody out. His is that the moment you do convert all those black beads to white beads, and it just kind of like does the stuff. I'd love to see how that actually works for sure. So hopefully we can actually achieve that. As we know, there is 14 beads that we have to convert based on that information there. Or maybe it gets 1400 beads. I think it's 14 beads in total. Can't remember. But like I said before, if you're going to be, once you go on the first attempt without any mark, then you're going to be attacking the attacker, the best attacker in the opposing team. For example, you're facing a team of Bison, Viper, B Zangief, as well as you know, let's just use Elena for example, right? The first time around, he's going to be going for Viper. Okay. The second time, this is the part that is a bit tricky. So he says, um, and you're going to do damage equal to the attack with the lowest defense. So when I say lowest defense, like I was saying the current attack. I think what I mean is the current lineup, enemy in the lineup that is about to die. Whoever has the least amount of defense available. Well, defense not necessarily have to do with health, HP. So more or less with least amount of protection. So if I typically, if you're going to be getting extra protection, it might either be from a buff or from, when I mean buff, you have like an assist, or maybe from a tank that kind of provides protection, or or a support that provides protection for the entire team, or maybe for a specific character. That's the only way you can sort of manipulate it. Otherwise, you're going to have the damage resistance that you typically would have, and that's what you're going to be based on in terms of like trying to take out the second person. And of course, the third one is the one you want to be getting every time, meaning you want to get the part where you have both marks. Okay, so we're going to see if there's any other way we can get this Oni mark, machine mark, whatever mark, or both marks, or if it's just going to be the first one. But what this means is that it makes the first move really, really important. And of course, this is a Raging Demon move, right? As much as the animation looks funny, he does it that 1000 tab, which is what he typically says when he does the Raging Demon, and it actually looks like a Raging Demon. The animation just looks like a modified version. Okay, now let's go to the second move, which is Supreme Beam. And it says, after unleashing this skill, convert 3 black beads to white beads and fill the super combo by 150. Now this one looks like it might be the most important of the entire rank if you're trying to run a lineup here. However, this one is something that actually hurt me, because when I compared this to my potential lineup, he has this on a C2. I would have loved this to be a C1. This looks like a C1 move, but the thing that it would really, really stop his combination with other team members. Like for example, you want to use a healer or other kind of stuff there. Those guys that do significant stuff with the C1, like having a tank like Abel in the Wind faction, you don't want to miss that. So you can tell that the intention of this character is not necessarily for the Sasuke squad, but more for the Wind team, right? They want to make sure that those who are going to do the support, be it through healing or through protection, like with a shield, can get the stuff done with the C1s, and then he can do a C2. But then of course that means you have to pick between C2 and a C3, so it's definitely going to depend on which team you're lined up with for sure. But as you can see, it goes all the way from 150 to 240 super combo, and then it goes all the way from converting 3 black beads to converting 4 black beads. So that's pretty much the update that you upgrade on there. That looks pretty major. It gives you a chance in speed, because that's what boost of super combo is all about. That's much you showing up your speed in terms of like getting your super combo quickly. All right, with the third one, it is also good to note that you don't get the Oni mark or the Shin mark. Okay, so that's one thing to bear in mind. With the C3, deal damage equal to 609% of attack to the nearest enemy. Each black bead increases the damage of this skill by 2%. Each white bead increases damage of this skill by 4%. Once again, that mechanic of always trying to get your beads straight to white, getting all of them on white. So far, this move here converts the beads, 2 beads from black to white. Okay, this one here converts 4 beads from black to white. So this is one move that you definitely feel like you don't want to slip in on when it comes to the bead conversion. When it comes to the mark, you want to use the first one, because this one not going to get you the mark. And for the C3, when you look at the C3, all right, and don't worry about it. This is the only reason why it makes sense for this to be a C2, because you can definitely use a super combo, and you can use one of the other C's as well. So you don't have to worry about what you losing the mark compared to the beads. But when it comes to the C3, it does say that you're going to be working with the beads that you've actually converted already. So they said each black beads increases damage of the skill. So for example, you've already done all the bead conversions once you do this. So wherever you're at, if you have, let's say for example, out of 14, you have 7 black beads and you have 7 white beads, you're going to have 7 of them with an increase of 6%, and the other 7 with an increase 7%, and you combine it together and you get all that whatever kind of stuff, the goodies there. But that's pretty much it there, and we have to go to the fighting spirit now to see which move actually gets enhanced, because that's typically what advisory does in most cases. It is called Bloodlust Beads. It's exclusive to Trendy Akuma, and of course, the skill is called Demon God's Rage. Okay, now first of all, HP bonus 19%, attack bonus 37%, crit rate 10%, crit damage 15%, and all this does is increases the damage of Oni Shingeki, Shingeki, and Kishin Sengeki by 15%. Once you unleash that, what they call a fighting spirit, 15% increase in damage. That is major stuff. Okay, now going beyond that, we're going to see that if you have him on assist slot, all you're going to be getting is your assist fighter is going to be getting a combo gauge of extra 60 once he unleashes a combo 2. That's pretty nice, for example, but I think it's definitely going to be wasted. You want to be considering these sort of characters when it comes to two portions. Okay, the first one is obviously when it comes to the towers. That's the towers. Apologies. When it comes to the path of trials, because obviously most of the time, whenever you have to fulfill the criteria, you don't have to worry about the assist slot for the most part unless it has mentioned. Secondly, it has to be obviously boss fights. The more you have in terms of like power moves, the more you can actually perform, and the earlier you can also start as well in order to sort of get as high a combo as possible. So definitely a decent move when it comes to being an assist, but definitely not meta in terms of like the other kind of EX moves, assist moves that you can actually get from other characters as well. So in my own opinion, definitely not worth putting an assist slot at all. But once you get to plus 10, then you're going to be unleashing total annihilation, increase the critical damage of Kishin Hadoken by 4%. Okay, so that means once total annihilation has actually been done, like almost like Bison, your feet return Inferno. The Kishin Hadoken they can do going forward is going to be 40% stronger. Kind of like Goken as well. Once he's actually gotten the what's that move again? Don't know why it keeps going off my head. Let's just have a look at him real quick here. It's just for a good comparison. But yeah, we're looking at, is it Steel Thunder? Yeah, once you get Void Power, then you're definitely going to be having an increase in this Hadoken here, right? Skill damage increased by 7% if Void Power is active. So that's just sort of like the top, but I don't think Void Power is active to that. It's just in that period that you have it. Unlike Hay, that kind of has a permanent boost of it the moment it actually does the annihilation stuff. I'm curious to see how that actually moves. We're going to see an analysis for sure, but we're almost wrapping up here with the moves here. Okay, so like I said before, deal damage equal to 79% of attack to the nearest enemy. Each black bead increases this. I know the 6 and 7 stuff. We're actually in the wrong spot, so let's go to fighting spirit. I knew I was doing something wrong there, but like I was trying to say before, increase the damage of Oni Sengeki, Shin Sengeki, and Kishin Sengeki by 25%. Going even higher from the 15% that you get already, you get 25% increase in that. You definitely want to get to FS20 at the bare minimum. All right. Now, this actually prioritizes your speed gems, boost to gems. Okay. If you want to definitely unleash these characters as they deserved. I'm wondering who the next one should have been. It looks like it's going to be him. And after unleashing total annihilation, Kishin Hadoken can penetrate all enemies. So once again, you're not just going to get the benefit of Kishin Hadoken having an increased strength of 40%, but now everyone is going to be having a piece of that move. And it doesn't look as if we are expecting it to sort of dwindle down in terms of like ability as it goes through the players. Everyone is getting some. That's all it is. That's pretty much amazing. That's a symbol of Akuma's stature. All right, now let's go over to the final bit here. Let's just rush to the soul power. Soul power, you're just going to get crit rate. That's all you're going to be getting once you unleash that real quick here. And of course, you've already seen what you're going to be getting, the benefits here. Super combo get by 240. The damage increase from white bead to 7%, but most importantly, when it comes to PvP bonus, you get 12% in damage, and of course 8% in reduction. So he has a ratio of 12 to 8, shows that he is pretty much the power attacker there. Let's look at Ivory. I think Ivory may have slightly more towards attack, but maybe suffering in defense or something similar. So you can 16% and 14% defense. So they'll kind of go like that, but pretty much a high amount, no doubt. Now the last piece of everything is going to be the garage. Okay, let's have a look at the cars and let's see what they actually say. Undying Obsession. After unleashing Kishin Hadouken, convert 2 beats. This is awesome. This actually is nice. Like I was trying to say before, um, you're converting. I keep going all the way out there. I need to know that it's just a skill. You're converting um no beads once you do this move. So whatever beads that you have converted, that's what you get, and it becomes almost a waste. Okay, you're gonna find yourself, but now you can afford to convert beads at this fast rate by doing the super combo and of course the C3, or you can just do the C3 alone, and at least you're going to get some beads converted. But we want to do it quickly. You want to combine those two together for full efficiency. This is why Avery is dope. He can work with almost anybody because he just needs to be there passively to attack the other people. Going back to the garage to see what this other one does as well. After unleashing the super combo for the first time, convert for additional beads. So you're going to convert for additional bead on your first attempt of using super combo. It doesn't matter where you do it from the start, as long as you do it for the first time, one time only, you're going to get that conversion. This is all about achieving total annihilation as quickly as possible. That's to show you that this move is definitely deadly. I believe, based on the stats that we have read, even though it is not soul damage, we still believe that it is definitely going to be more powerful than Return Inferno. The impact is going to be so massive, it could also be fatal. All right, so now let's go right ahead and let's get to the final piece of everything here, is what do we think about the character. For me, I like the concept. I love how as this new character come in, they do have different concepts that work around for them. I actually are like the character so far. With regards to comparing to Akuma, we're going to do something more of a more detailed video as to why one might be better over the other. But of course, the most important thing is you have to consider the lineup. Individually, I believe they are individually great. Of course, Akuma is a bit outdated in a way, but he is still a beast. This one obviously is in the current trends right now, and so obviously should have that advantage, but we'll definitely go deeper into that. Let me know what you guys think about Trendy Akuma. Are you guys excited for the character? This is a character you guys want to go for sure. For me, one thing that I do like is the concept of the total annihilation. It looks like something that you would want to definitely achieve for sure. We're going to see how viable it is to achieve it. It is 14 beats. You do get 2 conversions from the start if you do the super combo, and I believe that actually upgrades to, is it 4 or 3? Let's make sure we confirm that. You convert 2 black beads into white beads. That's what it says here. And yep, so you're getting that 2 white beads into black beads. If we do the first one, for sure. But of course, the 2 black beads is obviously, you know, if you're going to be a total of 3, because you're going to do it the first time. If you have to do it, you do it the first time, right? You're going to get 1 conversion. You do the second time, you actually it's going to be 2. You do the second time, I think you consume that first conversion, right? So like if fighter unleashes convert white bead to black bead, yeah. So if you do it when you have Shin, you do that to conversion, and then of course when you do it again, you get the 2 back, and that's the one that you have as a permanent one. When you do the C2, this is going to be the one that you hopefully want to be doing more often, because you have a chance to convert 4 beads straight away to white beads. It's going to be the fastest way to get across to it. And of course, don't forget with the super combo, if it's your first attempt, if you do have the garage, then you can obviously convert it to 4 in the first attempt, and that means you're not going to get as much penalties because you're only going to lose 1, and that means you got 2 in the third one, so you already have 5 in total from your third round. Hopefully you're not going to be doing that much round. You should be taking out your opponent already. So we're going to see how we can actually achieve that, because that's what I'm looking forward to, not just any other stuff. So let's go right ahead and let's just have a look and see what we are doing here right now. So here he is again. Nice animation. There is the first one there. For the second one here, I think if I just do this, I can trigger it anytime, and then of course the third animation, the Hadouken there. So we're definitely looking forward to looking at the character going forward here. We did do a lot of deep dive with some other comparisons and stuff like that, to just trying to express the importance of how this character is definitely going to work. Once again, he's a win character for sure. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you smash a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't also. Thanks for the views, thanks for the likes, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.